Welcome to the Deep Dive. Our mission, as always, is to take some really fascinating source material and, well, pull out the key insights for you.
That's a plan.
And today, we're plunging into Chapter 17 of the Bhagavad Gita. It's known as Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga.
Or maybe more simply, the yoga of threefold faith.
Exactly. Now, imagine this scenario, which feels surprisingly modern, even though it's from an ancient text. You see people who are deeply devout, really following their hearts, but maybe not sticking strictly to the rules, to the scriptures.
Right.
And Arjuna, the great warrior in the Gita, he asks this exact question. What happens to those people? Those who worship with genuine faith, Shraddha, but maybe outside the established scriptural methods.
It's such a relatable question, isn't it? What really counts, the external ritual or the inner intention?
And Krishna's answer is what we're really going to dig into today. It's quite profound.
It really is. Because Krishna doesn't just give a simple yes or no. He explains that faith, the Shraddha, it isn't just one thing. It's not uniform. He says it's born directly from our inherent nature, our prakriti.
Prakriti. So like our fundamental disposition, our personality almost.
Exactly. You could think of it as your kind of default setting, spiritually speaking. It shapes how you approach belief itself.
So it's not just if you believe, but the type, the quality of that belief.
Precisely. The text says the faith of each person conforms to their nature.
And then there's that really powerful line. A person is what their Shraddha is.
Wow. Yeah.
Does that mean we're just locked into a certain type of faith by our nature? Or can we change it?
Good question. It seems to be both. Our nature gives us tendencies, inclinations towards a certain mode of faith. But the whole point of understanding this framework, is to become aware of it.
Right.
And through awareness, through conscious effort, we can refine our Shraddha. It's not fixed destiny.
Okay.
And if we really are what our faith is, if we become what we believe in, then understanding these types, well, it becomes incredibly important for our own growth.
And the Gita lays out these types very clearly. There are three, based on the gunas, which might sound familiar to some listeners.
The three qualities of nature.
First, there's Sattvic Faith. Describe that one for us.
Sattvic is, well, it's the purest form. It's luminous, clear, rooted in true knowledge and understanding. It seeks harmony, the highest good, without any selfish motive, just doing what's right.
Okay, pure intention. Then there's Rajasic Faith. What does that look like?
Rajasic is more fiery, passionate, ambitious. This kind of faith is often driven by a desire for results.
Like what?
Like seeking rewards, recognition, status, maybe even power. Think of performing rituals ostentatiously, for show, or praying mainly for, say, material success rather than deeper connection.
Right, I can picture that. And the third one?
Tamasic faith. This is the dark end of the spectrum. It's rooted in ignorance, delusion, inertia.
Dark how?
Well, it could be blind adherence to harmful superstitions, worshiping lower spirits or ghosts, or even faith that leads to cruelty or is completely disconnected from truth. It's faith born from darkness, essentially.
So looking at these three, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, it really is a lens, isn't it, for examining not just what we believe, but the quality, the underlying energy of that belief.
Absolutely. It prompts that self-reflection, which mode dominates my faith right now.
And what really struck me when I was going through the source material again is that Krishna doesn't just stop at faith. He takes this same threefold idea and applies it to our actions.
Yes, that's a crucial extension.
Even actions that seem inherently good, like yajna.
Which is sacrifice or ritual.
And tapa.
Austerity, self-discipline.
Charity, giving.
Even these actions, Krishna says, are performed in those same three modes, Sattvic, Rajasic, or Tamasic.
And this is where it gets really practical and maybe a bit uncomfortable.
Oh, so? Because it forces us to look at why we do things. Even seemingly noble actions. Take Sattvic actions. These are done selflessly, purely because it's the right thing to do, according to duty or scripture, with no expectation of reward. True selfless service.
That's the ideal.
Then Rajasic actions. They might look good on the outside, maybe a big donation or intense fasting, but the motivation is different. It's done with pride, for show, for reputation, or expecting something specific in return, maybe heavenly reward or just praise.
So the ego is involved.
Deeply involved. And then you have Tamasic actions.
Which would be?
Actions done out of ignorance at the wrong time or place, maybe disrespectfully, or even in a way that causes harm, perhaps giving charity to an unworthy person or cause without thinking, or performing austerities that just torture the body meaninglessly.
Wow. That really raises the question, How often do our own good deeds maybe slip into that Rajasic category or even Tamasic without us realizing it?
Exactly. It's a powerful check on self-righteousness. The text makes it clear, even noble acts, if done with the wrong mindset, the wrong intention, can actually bind us further instead of
Well,
liberating us.
that's quite a thought. Outward goodness isn't enough. So is there a tool, a way the Gita offers to keep our intentions aligned?
Yes, thankfully, Krishna doesn't just point out the pitfalls. He offers a very powerful spiritual key, a way to purify our intention right in the moment of action.
And this involves those secret sounds you mentioned earlier.
Precisely. He concludes the chapter by explaining the significance of OM TAT SAT. These aren't just chants, they're presented as the threefold designation of Brahman, the absolute reality.
Okay, OM TAT SAT. Let's break those down. What do they represent?
Well, OM is the primal sound, the symbol of the absolute, the beginning and essence of everything. Starting an act with OM connects it to the universal, the divine source.
Right, invoking the ultimate.
Then TAT, it literally means that. It signifies selflessness, the understanding that everything belongs to that, to the divine.
So, detaching from the results.
Exactly. Performing the action without thinking, this is my action or I deserve the fruits, it's an offering.
And SAT.
SAT means truth, reality, goodness. It also refers to an auspicious or praiseworthy act. Uttering SAT at the end affirms the action was done with pure intention, in alignment with truth, and for the good. It consecrates the act.
So using OM TAT, SAT, it's like a formula for intention, a way to consciously purify the why behind what we do.
You could see it that way. It's a practical method to infuse even simple, everyday actions with divine consciousness, to align them with sattva, with truth and selflessness.
That's incredibly useful.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try and bring this all together. We've journeyed through this yoga of threefold faith. What are the key takeaways for you, the listener, from this deep dive?
Well, I think the first big one is just realizing that everyone operates from some kind of faith, some core belief system that shapes their actions, whether they call it faith or not.
Right, it's unavoidable. Your inner disposition drives your outer life.
Second, the quality of that faith is crucial. A Sattvic faith, one based on knowledge and purity, is shown as the path towards liberation, towards inner peace.
And the flip side is that even our good actions, sacrifice, austerity, charity, they need careful examination. If ego or expectation creeps in, they can actually hinder us spiritually.
Absolutely. The intention has to be pure for the action to be truly beneficial in a spiritual sense.
And then there's this practical tool, OM TAT SAT. These sacred sounds offer a way to actively align our intentions, to make our actions more sattvic.
It's a way to elevate the mundane.
And maybe the underlying message through all of this is just how incredibly powerful our inner intention really is. It's not just a fleeting thought. It's actively shaping our reality, our spiritual path.
Definitely. And this isn't just, abstract philosophy from millennia ago. It's intensely relevant.
Awesome.
It directly impacts how we live day to day, how we interact with others, the choices we make, the energy we put out into the world, the quality of our faith, the motivation behind our actions. These things create our personal reality and contribute to the collective reality.
So the question it leaves us with is, how are your faith and actions shaping your journey?
Right.
As we wrap up this deep dive, there's a comforting thought from the source material too. It suggests that faith isn't static.
No, absolutely not.
Faith is not a fixed thing. It grows, it changes, and crucially, it can be purified.
That's the invitation, isn't it? The whole chapter is really an invitation to undertake that purification, to consciously elevate our intentions so that every action, every offering becomes an act of love, of connection, not just ego.
So for you, the listener, we'll leave you with this thought to chew on, maybe something provocative. Given that we become what our faith is, what are you currently building with your beliefs? And are you sure it's the life, the self, you truly aspire to create?
A powerful question to reflect on.
Remember that line, a person is what their Shraddha is. Until next time on The Deep Dive.